So this thing has a mad shimmy under braking, and it feels like it has like a warped rotor or something like that, but I was also suspecting the front wheel bearings. I know the guy who dug this out of a field and got it going again did like all the suspension. If you guys watched the rear wheel bearing replacement video, you know that he might not have done stuff correct. So I think that's our shimmy. So I'm going to pop the wheel off, we'll pop the rotor off and stuff. I already have new wheel bearings for it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and just swap those things in. I do have rotors and pads for it, but I think I'll do that after I drive this thing. I want to see if it's actually warped rotors or not. So if it needs them, it'll get them. But for now, I'm going to grab the impact, we'll pop this wheel off and see how bad this is. All right, this is proving to be a strange one. So it doesn't really feel like the wheel bearings are bad. As I'm taking this thing off, you know, I had that shimmy. Well, I mean, now that moves because I just started loosening it, but the strut is like it looks like it's actually moving. It's not in the strut top. It's like right in the body. Like I couldn't get the bearings here, you know, they were tightened up about like that. I don't know, I can't get it to move on the spindle. So, a little concerning. I don't know. If I have to get struts, I guess I have to get struts, but I was pretty confident it was going to be the wheel bearing. We're still going to replace them. We're already here. We have the parts, and that is just the right thing to do. I know he replaced them. We'll do it again though. Strange. I was really hoping this would alleviate my shimmy under braking like today, but it doesn't look like that's how it's gonna be.
2 hours later.
Okay, I've got my bearings packed, everything is cleaned up and ready to go, so I'm gonna go ahead and reassemble this thing. Oh, we're gonna drive this damn car. Okay. I like that. Let's go back together. I'm really bummed out about that strut because I really think that's probably our issue, so this is a lot of work for potentially nothing. Whatever. Okay, well, we got new wheel bearings installed. Good spinach, so the strut. That sucks. Ugh. So, and we did that for essentially nothing, but we have new wheel bearings now, so cool. All right, two things. This car has had a wicked rattle up in the front right, and last time I had the wheel off, I could wiggle the damn strut. So, comparing it to the other side, this nut right here that holds the actual shock into the strut was loose. So part two of this whole thing, I've had this tool in my toolbox, came from some kind of used batch of something, have never used it until this moment, and it was the perfect tool to lock onto this thing and tighten that down. I just realized the bleeder is on the bottom side of this caliper. I wonder if the other side's reversed too. Bleeder on the bottom. This guy. Yeah, if the other side's reversed, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the calipers off and we'll just put them on the right way and re-bleed it. Notice anything wrong? That's on the right side. Here's the left side. Huh. I'm sure this thing is a little tricky to bleed. That one looks hot. Old grease too. I don't think this one's been replaced. All right. Let's dig back in tomorrow. So nice. All right, I got the hub set up in the press. Obviously, I've got my height adjusted. So what I've done here is I've actually turned down a motorcycle brake caliper piston just on the very end here. It fits this outer bearing very nicely. So I'm going to use this as a bearing race driver. So we'll put that in there, and then I have a steel spacer that's going to sit like that, and everything is going to be great. So right now the races are in the freezer, and I'm going to go ahead and heat this up. Hopefully we can probably just drop it in. That would be the goal, but if not, we have the tools set up, ready to go. So that's gonna be awesome. The other side's a little bit tricky. It's hard finding a piece the right size to drive it in, but we're gonna figure it out because we already figured out the other side. That's pretty damn hot. Okay, outer race frozen. Alright, so we're gonna have to drive in. That's okay. We're on the short tripod, so this is what you get. This leaks so bad. Alright. looking good. Okay, attempt number 2. This thing still has a lot of heat in it from when I was just working on it. That's the table. On a frozen steel plate. Ooh, that one's close to doing it. Let's get it on the press. There. That's it. It's hot. It's really hot. All right, we are in much better shape right now. New rotor bolted onto the right side hub. This one already has the bearings installed in it, but pulling off some of the rotor bolts, they were kind of mixed matched. A lot of them were, 10.9, so the right grade, but there was one that was just spinning. It was just completely loose. So yeah, fighting this warped rotor issue. I definitely think it was this side that was warped, but regardless. New rotors, unslotted. We're going to clean these things up. New pads, flip the calipers, and then we're going to have new wheel bearings, new rotors, new pads, correct caliper orientation, and everything's going to be torqued to spec. So this is going to be so much better. All right, wheel bearings up front along with new rotors are done. Tomorrow we're gonna knock out the calipers. All right, calipers are off the car, disassembled and being cleaned. Not fully disassembled, we're not pulling the pistons out because they work fine. But yeah, pulling the calipers apart, more or less, cleaning them, and then we're gonna re-lubricate and bolt them back on the correct sides. All right, hold. All right, that one looked good. All right, we are in the Porsche, and right now is the moment where we can thoroughly enjoy this car. We have been just working our way through all of the maintenance and repair type items to get into a nice, reliable, safe driver. So of course in this video you guys saw the brakes and the wheel bearings. Beyond that, we've already done the clutch, which was a big job. Done the timing belts, and then all of the front seals. So that was another big job. We got the dash lights working. The car is really doing good right now, and I've been having a blast in this thing. I can finally beat on this thing and kind of see what it's got. And although it could use a lot more power, that doesn't mean it's not fun. Slow car fast is always better than fast car slow. Oh my gosh, how do we always get stuck behind these slow cars? I can't ever get to 0 to 0. So while we have a slow pace here, let you guys know I've been semi-dailying this car. It's going into fall, and it has been fantastic. Now, it doesn't have air conditioning, which is, to be expected. But now the thing's fun to drive. It's very comfortable. It gets great mileage. There's really no complaints on that. So it's nice to just be able to drive and enjoy this thing. Crest right there. Genius. Fuck, man. Well, that was a good test of our brakes. This thing running and driving mechanically well, we didn't get to enjoy it very long because as we got the timing belts situated, I rattled something loose in the exhaust, so the muffler has got a piece of the catalytic converter in it, and it's quite annoying. But we already have the parts to remedy it. So that's hopefully going to be the next episode on this thing, is actually doing the exhaust like I've been talking about. Because right now this thing is super quiet. There's no real tone to it. I don't want it to be loud, but it's got to have a little tone. So I got something fun in store for that. happen. Now we get on to the fun stuff. Literally like not enough power to hardly oversteer this thing. Flat right now. Like others have said about these cars, it's very forgiving. Once you get it close to the limit, it's like, it's so predictable. It's just really fun to drive. It's not the best handling car. It's not the fastest. It's a 924S, so we know it's not the best of them either. But it is fun and it's mine. So anyway, you know, it's just a simple video doing the brakes and wheel bearings. Hope you guys liked it. Tune in for the next video and hopefully we're going to tackle the exhaust.